Hi there. Within this tutorial today using Flash, I'm going to be showing you how to do a very simple loop, such as the word welcome going across the page, and having a button that when you click it, it gets rid of that loop. So the first thing we're going to do is to create the loop. To do that, make sure that you've created these layers. The biggest tip I would give you is to pause the video at any point in order to write them down. So this may be a good time to pause to see the layers. Make sure in frame number 1 that you have keyframes. If you haven't, then insert the keyframes there. So in my animation layer, I'm just going to do a very simple ball that bounces across the page. And I'm now going to convert it to a symbol. In this case, I'm going to make sure it's a ball and make sure that it's a graphic. Press OK, and now I'm going to insert a motion tween. I'm just going to make it go across the page, like so. And I'm going to be a little bit lazy. I'm going to copy those frames, paste them, and I'm just going to reverse it so it goes back up the path. Quick test, does it work? Yes, it does. However, I want it to loop, so I don't want to have to keep on adding these across the layer. So all I'm going to do is insert in the ActionScript 3 layer, insert a keyframe. I'm going to press F9, and I'm just going to go to capital A for and play from frame number 1. Give it a quick check. I know it's okay because the writing's gone blue. Go back to here, press enter, control enter even. You will see that that continually plays and I haven't had to go across the page to do so. However, I want to have a button that at any point in here, that if I click it, it will then skip and go to a new frame and you won't be able to see that action anymore. At this point, it might be a good time to pause in order to catch up. Now I'm just going to insert a very simple button, but I'm not going to create it myself. I'm going to use one that's already there. So create a button, and all I'm going to do is just have a look at a very simple design. I'll go with something that's similar colour. There you go, a nice grey. Drag and drop it in like so. Make it slightly bigger if you want to by just resizing it. So there's my button there. So I don't want to have the word enter, I want it to have the word skip. So all I'm going to do, double click the button. You will see that there's already a text there, and I'm just going to change that to say the word skip and just go back to my scene. So it's still there. I'm going to insert a keyframe here because I want to make sure that button appears throughout the whole of the animation. Let's test it. The button's still there. However, I don't want the ball to go over the top of the button, so all I'm going to do is put the button above the animation. Press Ctrl Enter and you will see that button is always at the top. You will notice as well, because it's a pre-made button, there's a lot of graphics already done to that. So, the next task, we're going to enter a layer to then add some more script in. So at this point, complete the action, press pause, and we'll resume shortly. In order for your button to be seen in the program, make sure that you click on the button and you give the button a name. In this case, if it is a button, btn underscore. In this case, I'm going to call it skip. Press enter. Okay. This is now where we enter the code. So because the button starts from page number 1 or frame number 1, we're going to go to the ActionScript layer 3, go to slide number 1 or frame number 1, click on F9 and you will see now that you've got a blank page. This enter the code. So if I go to this notepad, this is what we're going to be doing, okay? Now I know the button's called skip and it matches this. I'm going to add an event, so I'm waiting for it to shout to me. In this case, when I click the button, I want it to run a program called skip intro, of which I'm now going to define. So the function called skip intro, I know it's a mouse event. Void basically means there's no logical order. I can click this on frame number 1, frame number 5, back at frame number 4, whatever. Always include this. And I want it to go to and stop at frame number 49. So I'm going to go back into my action script, press F9, and I'm going to enter it into there, like so. This might be a good time to stop, have a look at the program, and write it incorrectly. Any errors will not work. Okay, check it, make sure there's no errors in the script, click OK, and get rid of that. Now to prove this works, I'm going to enter some text on page number 49. So make sure that's on page number 49. Insert a keyframe. Brilliant. Enter some text. Does this work? Let's just make sure the color you can see. Let's make sure the text is a little bit bigger. And also, because it's a question mark at the end. So, now, when I play this, so it's continually looping. However, when I click on this, it should go to frame number 49, of which it does, and that stops the animation. That is how you can jump between the frames. How can you use this when creating an animation?